Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. So as you guys can see from this title, we have another story time. So sit back, grab your popcorns and relax. We're gonna get straight into it. If you are new to the channel, you definitely need to check out this one story time before you watch this video. I am going to leave it in the description box down below. And after you watch that story time, hop on back over here and watch this one. But we're gonna get straight into it. And if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, y'all, turn on your post notifications this month, because this month we lit. Like, I'm trying to get as much content out to you guys as possible. So let's get straight into it and let's pick up where we left off. So boom! The last time that we left off from this video, we left off at the part where I had to pull up at the little baby at church, you feel me? So we're going to continue where we left off from. The last thing that you guys heard was that I pulled up on her, and then I told you guys that after I pulled up on her, shit was not sweet after that, y'all. Like, everything just went tumbling down. So we about to get into the next chain of events that happened. So boom. Oh wait, first of all, I do remember Ashton's name. Ashton, let me refresh y'all memory. Ashton was the girl who I ended up really beefing with later on in the story time. Like, Ashton was the one that I ended up really beefing with, and there was the other girl. I forgot what I named her. Hold on, I'm about to go see. Play. Okay, y'all, I had to go look at one of my videos to remember what her name was. Yeah, your girl be forgetting about these names that I be naming these people. But her name was Pepper. So we have Pepper and then we have Ashton, right? Those are like the two main characters. But Ashton ended up being the really main character later on, and we're going to get into how that happened. So I'm pretty sure Pepper went back and told Ashton that I pulled up on her at church. And so at this point in time, they're literally going bonkers online. They're subbing me. Of course, that's all they knew how to do. They were subbing me. They were saying like, oh, like, you're like, who pulls up to church on church drama? This girl's lame, blah blah blah, all this shit, right? But I don't know if you guys remember the other story time where I told you guys that I had pulled up on one of my church members at my own church. And I don't know if you guys remember that. I might leave it down below, I might not. But basically, in that story time, I pulled up on her because she was taking videos without my consent at church and sending it to my enemies that I used to argue with on Twitter. And they basically will post it online after church services, talking shit about how I looked, how I dressed. And mind you, this girl used to take pictures of me when we were praying. So it's like, y'all thought it was all funny and shits and giggles and shit when people was taking pictures without my consent at church a couple of years ago. Now all of a sudden that I pulled up on y'all at church, now all of a sudden everybody talking about the fact that you would even do that in church says a lot about you. So how come y'all don't have that same energy for this one here that was taking pictures of me at church and sending it to my enemies, and my enemies is praying, and you can literally see my head bowing down talking to God while this one is not taking pictures of me. But now all of a sudden when I pull up on somebody, I'm childish, I don't respect God and all this. That's what they started tweeting. Me personally, I didn't care what nobody had to say. I knew the wrath was coming from me going to her church, but I never thought it was gonna be this big. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna sit up here and cap to y'all. So everybody subbing me and shit, and I'm not paying their asses no mind, because as far as I'm concerned, I did what I needed to do. Like, I asked her, do you need me to pull up? She said yes, and I pulled up, you know. The girl probably didn't think I was gonna pull up to her church, but that's probably the only place that I would have caught her real quick and soon. I didn't want nothing to linger on. Back then I like to, you know, nip shit in the bud. Like, if we gotta get it cracking, let's get it cracking, let's keep it pushing type shit. My friends is sending it to me, I'm ignoring it. Like, these were one of the few times where I did not go on Twitter and start arguing with people. I didn't do nothing. I'm just watching everybody talk about how people talk about I don't respect God, I don't respect the church, this is that, I'm childish, I'm messy, da da da, all this shit. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. But the person that's tweeting the most is Ashton. So, you know, a couple of days go on and shit like that, and they're like, you could tell like they're trying to get, like, you could tell from my perspective, it felt like, you know, everybody was always used to me popping off. Everyone was always used to me arguing. Everyone was always used to me, you know, being combative, going back and forth with them on socials or in person. And for the first time, I wasn't giving them that energy. Like, I was quiet like a mouse, just watching everyone tweet away. Because this is how, as far as I was concerned, I pulled up on a kid and ain't nobody do nothing. So bitch, I'm no longer concerned, you know? So I didn't care about whatever they had to say. But what I think it was that the fact that I wasn't replying back to no one and I was just sitting back and watching everyone talk shit about me, I feel like it was angering them because they were so used to me always popping off. So Ashton just continued. Like, the days went on, Ashton was still subbing me. They were still having discussions amongst me, like, you know, adding each other and agreeing with each other about how I'm childish and this and that and all this shit. So I told Ashton, I said, damn bitch, you done? Like, I added her. Like, I legit added her and I said, damn bitch, you done? I said, bitch, we would have thought that they pulled up on you. So after I added her, y'all, like usual, y'all already know. If y'all watch my story times, y'all already know. When I used to add one person on Twitter, bitch, I added the whole African community. Because literally about like 5 people started jumping in my mentions and started attacking me. I'm not, at this point in time, like I told y'all, I didn't really care. The only person that I had an issue with was Ashley, because it's like, you popping your gum for what? Like, why do you keep popping your gum type shit? Like, why do you keep popping your gum? So it was a whole bunch of other girls that did not like me, and they started like going ballistic and crazy over me. And I definitely have a story time for that. I'm going to tell that story time before I tell the final part of what happened with this story time of me fighting or whatnot, because that story time kind of intertwines into the other story time or whatnot. But yeah, so basically had all her friends in my mentions and they were mentioning me, they were going off on me. It was a lot. And like, the girls who were mentioning me did not like me because I was friends with Bozo, and Bozo was friends with a couple of the girls from that group, and she fell out with them. And I defended Bozo because they were doing too much. And even though Bozo did a lot, but you know, Bozo was still my friend, so I was defending Bozo. So they didn't like me because of Bozo. So when they see me arguing with Ashton, they just use that opportunity to start arguing with me, right? They see me argue with Ashton, they jumped in, of course, because they already did not like me previously from Bozo, right? Because the reason why I was arguing with Ashton was because, Ashton, you've been wanting a problem with me. Like, you've been wanting a problem with me since Pepper. Like, this situation only had to really do with Pepper, but you've been like including yourself in it, and you going hard behind the paint for this girl. For what? I don't know. Like, I understand that this is your friend, but you overdoing it. Your friend started with me, sis. Like, why is everyone acting like these people did not start with me? Let's fast forward to, I'm gonna say, about a month later. So I'm going to introduce my friends. Now, I don't know if you guys remember my friend named Busted Back. If you guys do not remember my friend Busted Back, I'm about to give you guys a quick description so I can refresh your memory. Busted Back was this girl that I used to work with at McDonald's. Remember I told you guys I used to work with Busted Back, and it was me, Busted Back, and Chuck. If you guys remember Chuck, of course you guys should remember Chuck. Oh my God, y'all, speaking of Chuck, and I know you guys are about to be like, Irene, do it. Tell me why Busted Back hit me up the other day and was basically saying that, because I don't know if you guys know, Chuck is out of jail. Like, he just got out of jail this year, I think, or last year, I don't know. Chuck is out of jail, and Busted Back hit me up saying Chuck messaged her and basically said that like Chuck wanted to see what I look like, I guess, because like, you know, he hasn't seen us since we were like, you know, in 12th grade, and he basically was asking like if she can rekindle me and his friendship together again, because I don't have Chuck's socials or anything like that. And I think she was talking to him on Facebook, and I don't get on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? So, but I know some of y'all about to be like, please, so we can do a video, please. I don't know how I feel about, you know, rekindling with Chuck. Like, you know how like I don't have no issue with Chuck. We didn't leave on bad terms, you know what I mean? But at the same time, how like, you know, that's just an old friend type. Like, he's like he's considered an old friend. Now, he's kind of considered an old friend because his ass went to jail. But, you know, he's still considered an old friend. So I don't know how I feel about rekindling an old friendship. But I know y'all gonna be in the comments saying, please do it and do a video with him. But also, I don't know how Chuck is gonna feel about me telling story times about his criminal activities. But it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot that goes into it. But yeah, I had to just give you guys that update because you guys are always asking about Chuck. I don't know why. But yeah, so basically, Busted Back and me were really cool. And remember I told you guys, me and Busted Back used to go to a lot of kickbacks a lot, where I stopped going with her and I started going with Chelsea, because Busted Back, and remember I told you, Busted Back and Chuck, they were very reckless, very criminal like, you know, they could put you in jail by the end of the night. I ain't gonna lie. And I love Busted Back to death. To this day, still got love for the little baby. Don't talk to her like that, but I still got love for the baby. But Busted Back and Chuck was on demon time when it came to like illegal activities. Like, they really did not care about life. I mean Chuck went to jail for 6 years. I mean, that should let y'all know everything, you know. So basically, I went to this kickback with Busted Back, and I'm going to give Busted Back's friend a name. We are going to call her, we're gonna call her Amanda. So there's Busted Back and then her best friend named Amanda. I have a story time on them two. As a matter of fact, I filmed the story time, but the company that I filmed it for, they hold me, so I never dropped the story time. I just deleted the whole video because it was a sponsorship that was in the video too. So I was so irritated, I just deleted everything. I will refilm that story time about Amanda and Busted Back. Just remind me to do that, y'all. But basically, Amanda was friends with Busted Back. As a matter of fact, they were best friends. And so whenever I will invite Busted Back to Kickback, sometimes Amanda would just come too, because you know, and I used to work at McDonald's with Amanda too, but me and Amanda, we weren't really like friends. Amanda was kind of like, basically, if I wasn't cool with Busted Back, I wouldn't be cool with Amanda type shit. But at the same time, Amanda was cool. Like we used to have fun, you know, when I would go out with them. Like Amanda was crazy, y'all. Amanda, y'all know how I said Busted Back was on demon time with illegal activities. Amanda topped her times 100, and on top of that, Amanda was in a gang. Okay, she was in a girl affiliated gang. So this girl was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, she was mad impulsive and mad crazy. Like, and she loved to fight. Like, she was one of them girls that loved to fight. Like, bitch, you could look at her wrong and she putting them hands up to fight, right? I'm about to give a description to my friend. So I had an old friend. We're not gonna really name her. We're just gonna call her an old friend. This was one of my old best friends. Me and her, we were best friends, and this girl used to throw kickbacks. And I know I told you guys this a couple of times in one of my old videos, but this girl used to basically throw kickbacks at her house when her mom would travel. And y'all, like, she would throw these kickbacks. She would literally just be inviting like a little bit of people, but y'all, so many people would be at this kickback. So this was like one of her second or third kickbacks. Now, first kickback that she thrown, it was like I'm not gonna say mid. I'm not saying mid in a manner of like, oh, it was boring, but like the level of how many people were in her house was mid. Like, it was just people that like I could see, and I could see from school, like, okay, yeah, this person goes to the same high school as me. Like, everybody that was in the house was people that I kind of knew, or I talked to, or had a conversation with. Like, it was a very small kickback, like very minimal. But I ain't gonna lie, that kickback was still mad fun. So by the time she threw the second kickback, I start seeing people that didn't even go to our high school. Like, I start seeing a whole bunch of random people in the house that went to like different high schools and stuff like that. Baby, when she threw that third kickback, y'all tell me why I started seeing people from my old high school district. Bitch, I said this is not a kickback no more. Bitch, this is a party. This is a party. So at this point, y'all, this girl's house is packed out. Like, when I tell you this girl's house is packed out, her house is packed the hell out. I start seeing like guys from A-Leaf that I known were thieves. Now, let me give you guys the background. Now, my friend, she had a couple of her friends that was sleeping over. Even though she had like a party kickback, a couple of her friends was staying the night over at her house after the kickback, just to, you know, chill with her. I wasn't sleeping over at her house. She asked me to, but me and her, we lived in the same neighborhood. This girl literally lived like a minute away from me, a minute drive. I didn't feel the need to sleep over. The girls who were sleeping over, they lived around us, but they didn't live in our neighborhood. So I guess that's probably why they slept over. But me, I wasn't sleeping over. So we weren't in her room, but she had a guest room, and the girls who were sleeping over had a whole bunch of their personal belongings in the guest room. They had like, you know, their bags, like small little mini bags, and you know, their purses and stuff, and they had it tucked in that room. I went inside the room with them because one of the girls that I was kind of cordial with, she was in that room getting something out of her stuff. So I went inside the room with her, you know, just to talk to her, not to drop anything, because I wasn't sleeping over. So, you know, I'm mingling with the girl, and we end up leaving the room to go back downstairs. Y'all, this kickback is packed. I end up seeing old niggas that I used to mess with back in the days, like at my different district. And man, this party was packed out, and she was even shocked too. Like, you could tell she was a little like because people started doing wild shit. You know how like when it's too many people at a kickback, mind you, we let me set the scene, y'all still gotta remember, we are seniors in high school. We have not even graduated yet. Like, we're like 17. I'm gonna say that the age range for this party was probably like 15 through like 19-ish, right? Because there was some guys that graduated that was at this kickback. Like, class of 14, class of 13. Like, this shit was packed out type shit. You could tell that my friend was a little frustrated because people started getting drunk because she had alcohol, and it wasn't no real alcohol. Y'all know the basic shit back then, you know, the MD, the Four Locos and shit, but shit, it was still alcohol, you know what I'm saying? So people started getting a little too drunk, people started getting a little too high, allegedly, because we wasn't doing that. People start getting a little too drunk, a little too high, and people start, like, you know, just doing a lot. So you could tell she was a little frustrated. Like, there was a point in time she was like, who are these people? Like, and you know the funny thing, I knew all of them. I'm not gonna say I knew every single person, but I knew like it was a group of guys. Oh, y'all, oh my goodness, y'all. Let me even tell y'all, it was a whole clique of guys. Like, they were in a gang. They were literally sitting around her chair having like a affiliation meeting through the loud music and all. Like, they were having a meeting about how they was gonna pull up on their ops and shoot them. And one of the guys was like, oh, should we do it now? I'm looking like, no, bitch, do it later like the candy. Do it later like the candy. I don't want to be caught in the crossfire. So I was just like, nah, like, you could just tell that this kickback was just getting out of hand. Like, you could tell it was getting out of hand. Go outside, her neighbors are literally like looking there, and one of the neighbors had told me, he was like, I'm calling the cops. So I ran back inside to tell her, your neighbor is trying to call the cops, because it was too much. Like, it was too many people. Tell me why. It was these group of guys that I used to go to my old district with in Ailey. I knew them personally, and they were known for stealing. And they were going upstairs, and I could see them because I was downstairs, and I could see them from upstairs, and they were inside the room that all her friends left her personal belongings in. So I ran and I told her, and I said, look, I know them niggas. I said, and them niggas are thieves. Like, they steal. Like, they're known for stealing they're known for hitting licks. They're known for busting into people's houses. Back where we from. You might want to be careful because they inside your guest room where all your friends' belongings are. Now, my friend was so worried about people destroying her house because people started getting disrespectful. People started jumping on top of counters. People started breaking things. So she wasn't really listening to me when I was talking to her. So she was like, okay, yeah, like, I hear you, but I don't think she really heard me. I'm gonna say about 10 minutes go by, I end up going upstairs. After I told her what I had to tell her, I went upstairs. So when I went upstairs at this time, the boys are now leaving the room. And you could tell they just look guilty. Like, they look mad guilty. So I ended up calling, y'all know the girl that I told y'all I was talking to in the room. I ended up calling her to come, and I was like, I don't know, y'all might want to check y'all shit, because I said, these boys, like, you know, they just left the room and they look guilty as hell. And y'all, tell me why as soon as they left the room, they dipped out. They dipped out. I knew they stole, y'all. I knew. And you know the funny thing, I had my purse with me. Like, I had my little purse with me, and I had money in my purse. I had money in my purse. I had drugs in my purse. Like, you know, because it was a lit night type shit. Like, I had shit in my purse. I had my lipstick, everything. Like, I had a lot of money in my purse. Why? I don't know. But I had a lot of cash on me in my purse just in case, like, you know, we was gonna get into anything. Something in my spirit told me, do not leave your purse in this room. Because you know the funny thing, my friend was like, you can leave your purse here. Like, you don't have to carry your purse everywhere. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Thank the Lord, y'all. So at this time, I ran downstairs because as soon as I saw the looks on their faces, like, mind you, they all made eye contact with me because they knew me from A-Leaf. So as soon as we made eye contact, it was like 4 of them, and these are hood N-words. These boys are hood. So we all made eye contact, and they literally just jetted down the stairs and dipped out. I ran down the stairs behind them, and I told the girl that I was in the room with, I'm like, look, I think they just stole y'all stuff. You might want to go upstairs and check at this point. So at this point in time, this girl is panicking. She literally ran upstairs. Y'all, they wiped them out. They took all their money. They ran into all their bags. They took like stuff of value. And mind you, this girl that I was talking to, she was a sports player. Like, she played sports, and she had a tournament the next day. So she had all the wads of cash in her bag. Basically, like, they were doing a travel tournament, so she had over like $300 in her bag, and they took everything. They wiped them all out. The other friend had a whole bunch of weed, because that girl was a major pothead. Like, she loved to smoke. She had a whole bunch of weed in her bag. They took all her weed. One of the girls, they took her phone. Like, it was just mad crazy. So at this point in time, they are literally having a breakdown. She literally runs down. At this point in time, when I seen that her shit was stolen, I ran right back downstairs to go see if the boys were there. Them boys, they deuces. Them guys were gone. They were gone, to say the least. So I run back inside of the house and I'm talking to my friend and I'm like, bro, like, are you not listening to what I'm telling you? I was like, these boys just came and ran into your guest room and took all of your friend's shit. Like, so when I told her that, one of her other friends, the one that I said was a pothead, was like, what are you talking about? And she jotted, ran upstairs. All that stuff was gone. Now, in the midst of all this happening, my friend had the audacity to catch an attitude with me. I'm like, look, don't catch no attitude with me. She was like, why did you let them? I'm like, what did you want me to do? Did you want me to hold my hands up high and say, stop? Like, what did you want me to do? Like, I'm confused. Like, I literally came downstairs and told you that I know these boys from my old district and they be running into houses. That should have gave you enough ammo. Like, had you came upstairs when I told you that in the first place, that should have gave you enough ammo to know, like, these boys was gonna start taking shit, right? At this point, me and her, we're arguing, we're going back and forth, and I'm like, look, I don't know what to tell you. They didn't took it already. Like, I'm like, well, you're not gonna argue with me because I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I told you. I told you to tell your friends to get they shit. And then second of all, if y'all gonna have all these like important belongings in y'all room, why don't you have a lock on that door? 'Cause you know the funny thing is, I don't really remember, don't quote me, but I think my friend used to have a lock on her door in her room. Why didn't you tell your friends to put all their belongings in your room and lock your door? Why would you literally have them put all their belongings in the guest room and not lock the guest room door? People are literally just coming to and fro. But as I stated before, I don't think my friend knew that this kickback was gonna be this big, because she was overwhelmed. Like, when people started coming, she was overwhelmed. You can tell she was so irritated that so many people were like, this was not a kickback, y'all, this was a party. So at the point in time when me and her are going back and forth, the police literally pulls in. Y'all, this is chaotic, and I know a lot of y'all about to be like, what? Y'all just listen, everything is gonna come full circle as to what happened. So y'all have to understand, but I invited Busted Back, and Busted Back invited Amanda to this party. So I'm at the party with Busted Back and Amanda. Now you guys do also have to understand that, like I said, Busted Back and Amanda, they're very close. So even though I'm not with them and I'm talking to my friend and shit, they're chilling still because they're close with each other. So I'm not really with them throughout the night. They're maneuvering throughout the house. They're doing their own thing. I really was like just jumping from friend to friend because I knew a lot of people in that at that kickback. And on top of that, it was one of these old guys that I used to talk to. So apart from me going to see that them A-Leaf boys was hitting licks inside the guest room, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was low-key macking with one of these guys that I used to talk to. I wasn't really macking with him because me and him got into it like a month before that kickback. He was trying to mac with me and I was trying to play hard to get. So, you know, I wasn't really too much worried about Busted Back and, you know, Amanda. Now at this point in time, bitch, the police then pulled up. Skirt. The police pulled up. They get on their intercom. They're yelling. The neighbors are mad. The neighbors started yelling at my friend. They're like, your mom would not allow this. Because, like, the neighbors were actually cool with my friend's mom. Which I'm looking back at it. Why would my friend throw a major kickback knowing that the neighbors were going to snitch on her? And mind you, they used to snitch on her every single time she threw a kickback. And her mom would confront her and she would say, no, she didn't throw one. So yeah, so the neighbors, they were going out there like, yeah, like, we're gonna let your mom know what you're doing. We're gonna let your mom know that this is what you're doing when she goes out of town. This is and that, this, like, they're just going off on her. Police is like, y'all need to go home now. Like, the police is literally like screaming, now, go home now. Like, they talking about something, if y'all don't go home, y'all gonna get arrested. So everybody dip out, right? Everybody clearing out. I end up still staying because I'm just kind of looking like, you know, I'm kind of cool with this girl. But like, she was mad too, and she was like, y'all get the fuck out. Like, she was mad. Like, even though the police came and kicked people out, when she found out that them boys had stole from the room, she shut that party down. But y'all know people don't listen. Like, people don't listen. So when she got on the microphone and she was like, hey, party over, y'all get out. Of course people wasn't moving, but when the police came, people really started moving, like, because the police was there. So at this point in time, almost everybody clear out. It's just a couple of us left. People still pulling up to the kickback, not knowing that the kickback is like, you know, done. So, you know, she's standing in the front lawn like she's pissed, and she's like, nah, y'all not coming in. Like, she was angry, y'all. Like, she was angry. They had stole some of her shit too. She was angry. Her friends, her immediate friends were angry. Like, they were just in the room. One of the girls was like, how am I even gonna get to the tournament the next day? It was bad. And I was just kind of looking at everyone like, yikes, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, shit, I don't know what to say. But it was bad. At this point, I'm still with Busted Back and I'm still with Amanda. He told everybody that that she didn't really know like that to get out. So at this point, it's literally just my friend, a couple of her friends that was supposed to sleep over, me, Busted Back, almost said the girl's name, Amanda, and a couple of other like guy friends that she was cool with. And they're just trying to comfort her. They're just like, you good, da da da. So the police ended up leaving because the police seen like damn near everybody left. But you know, at this time, like I said, this girl's flyer was still on the internet. So people still pulling up. So she told me, she said, Irene, like, I don't know, like she said, I don't know if you're about to leave, but could you please stay outside and tell people the party is over? Because I don't want nobody that I don't know in my house. Like, she was angry and people were destroyed. Like, she was pissed. So I stood outside with Busted Back and I stood outside with Amanda. We're just talking and they're basically just asking me like, where were you? Like, you know, well, as soon as we got to the kickback, it's like you disappeared. I was just giving them the rundown of everything. Like, I told them how them boys stole. I told them how I seen my old guy that I used to talk to, how I was talking to him. I told them how I was hanging out with my friend. I just told them the whole nine. So we're just talking. Literally while we're talking, I'm talking to them. People are walking up towards the house. I'm like, hey, the party over. They're like, what you mean the party over? I'm like, she shut it down and the police came. They're like, oh man, like da da da. Like, as I'm talking, so after they walk back, I'm talking. As I'm talking, through my peripheral, I see Ashton. Y'all already know where this story going. You already know. We're gonna stop this story right now. Just kidding. I know you. Nah. We are gonna stop this story, but not yet, because I gotta tell y'all what happened. So I'm talking, and I just see this girl, like she's sitting, like, you know how somebody has their car door open and they're standing above their car, they got their hand on their hood with the car door open and they're just leaning against their car and they're talking to someone. So she's talking to this guy that I was not cool with. He went to my high school. I did not like him. She was talking amongst him, like him and her, they were friends. So they're talking, she's laughing, they're talking amongst each other, like they're key, you know, the whole nine, right? As I'm talking to them, I see her out my peripheral, so I just look, and Busted Back was like, why are you looking at her? Because Busted Back did not know that I had beef with her. So I told Busted Back, I said, I don't like her. And Busted Back was like, why you don't like her? So I basically told Busted Back, even though Busted Back knew that, didn't know what like type of beef I had with her, Busted Back still knew that I pulled up at Pepper at church. So I was basically refreshing Busted Back's memory, and I was like, do you remember that girl that I had pulled up on at church about a month ago? So Busted Back, she like, yeah, mind you, the whole time I'm talking, Amanda just standing to the side just listening, because Amanda not friends with me, like I said, so she don't really know much about what I had going on, like my beefs and stuff. She just used to hear about it, but she never really cared. So she just watching, like she just listening. And I'm just telling her, like, you know, Busted Back, you remember that girl that I had pulled up on that church? Busted Back nodding her head. I'm like, yeah, like, do you remember her friend that I kept saying kept like being on go for her and all this? And Busted Back like, yeah. I'm like, that's the girl. So Busted Back like, oh, bitch, I would have thought that, what's this girl name? Amanda had beef with her. Amanda said, so do we need to fight her tonight or what? Bitch, I said, oh. Like, this is the thing. Don't get me wrong, y'all. Like, I'm not scared, right? I'm not scared of nothing. It's not that deep. I'm not scared. But at the same time, this bitch Amanda just like, I don't know. Like, girls who just want to fight just to fight kind of scare me. Because it's like, you letting me know that you don't got nothing to lose. Because, first of all, let's just keep it a buck. This ain't even your friend, okay? This ain't even your friend. This not your friend. So, you know, why you want to fight her? This ain't even your friend. Mind you guys, when I say this ain't even your friend, I'm talking about me. Me and you not friends. Like, I'm not friends with you. Me and you are associates. Me and you are friends because, you know, we got a mutual friend in common. Why you want to fight her? Like, I was just mad confused. Like, why do you want to fight her? So I told them, like, no, I'm not fighting her. Like, I told them straight up, I'm like, I'm not fighting her. I said, it is not that deep. I am not fighting her. No, like, let's leave it alone. So Amanda was like, oh, okay. Like, she was like, well, then don't tell no story like that around me. She said, because you been there got me mad. The fuck you mad for? Did she yell at you or me? So I'm just like, okay. She was like, nah, I'm just saying. She was like, look, she was like, I know me and you not friends. She said, but you know, you friends with Busted Back. And if you fuck with Busted Back, and she basically was saying that even though me and her are not friends, because I'm friends with Busted Back, she kind of considers me a friend. So if I have an issue, she'll handle it for me. I told this girl, let me reiterate, I told this girl to leave her alone. I like, leave her alone. I said, if she don't say nothing to me, I'm not gonna say nothing to her. So at this point in time, we get in our car, we're getting ready to leave, right? I get in my car, I start my car. I'm the one who drove to the Kickback. Now at the end of the day, I still have to drop off Busted Back and Amanda. Then I have to go home, even though the Kickback is in my neighborhood. I still have to drop them off. Amanda starts saying, I'm hungry. Like, I'm hungry. So I'm like, y'all want to go to Jack in the Box? Because we have a Jack in the Box like right outside of our neighborhood. I was like, do y'all want to go to Jack in the Box? They're like, yeah, like let's pull up to Jack in the Box. Like, yeah, let's go. We pull up, we get ready to go to Jack in the Box. Get in the car, start my car, get it ready to drive. Remember what I told you guys? Ashton is still talking to the guy who I did not like, and she still has her hand on the hood, like she's still talking, she's talking with him and stuff. They're cool, they're friends. The guy, he ends up seeing me. I had a tent in my car, in my old car, but the tent wasn't that like dark. You could still, like, if you look in the car hard enough, you can see me. So the boy, he ends up seeing me, he makes a face at me. I'm like, boy, whatever, like, you know, like whatever, like, you know, I don't really care for him, he don't care for me, whatever. So he makes like a little like, but he ends up moving out the way. The way this shit was set up, Ashton's car was parked on the side and it was another car parked on the side and I could drive through. But because Ashton had her door wide open and she was outside, there was no way that I could maneuver my car in between because she had her door open. So I'm literally like waiting for her to, like, you know, move her car. Now at this time, Ashton already knew who I was. Like, she seen me already. Like, by the time we got in the car, she already had seen who I was. So she seen my car, she seen who I was. So at this point in time, in my honest opinion, Ashton was trying to be petty. Oh, you know, I beat the horn at her because it's like, move type shit, like move out the way. I beat the horn at her and she basically starts saying, you can go, like you can go, like yelling at me. So I'm like, how the fuck can I go if you, like, so I wind down my window and I'm like, how the fuck can I go if you in the way, like you in the way. I said, you see your friend got out the way, why can't you get out the way? You see your, like, so, you know, so at this point, y'all, while I'm, mind you, while I'm talking, Ashton starts talking too. Like, we start arguing. So Ashton was like, girl, you been wanting an issue with me. Like, you been wanting an issue. I'm looking at her like, are you dumb? Like, you are literally in the middle of the road. And I said, now, bitch, if I run you over, I'm gonna be the problem, huh? I'm gonna be the problem. Like, I straight up told her that. And I started revving the car because I had put the car in park, but I was revving it to scare her. I was like, all you hear is, vroom. I was like, move. Y'all, while me and Ashton are going back and forth, why Amanda then stepped out the car? Y'all, Amanda stepped out the car. So Amanda steps out the car. And Amanda was like, oh, so you got beef with my bitch? So she was like, who are you? Like, Ashton didn't even know Amanda, like, at all. Never seen her before, did not know her. So Ashton was like, who are you? She was like, answer the question. Like, do you got beef with her? She was like, you see, I wasn't gonna say. So at this point, Amanda started talking. She all up in her face. I'm talking about Ashton is here. Amanda is literally right here. So she was like, look, la da. Mind you, this shit happened quick. Y'all. Amanda started talking to her. She basically was like, I wasn't gonna say nothing to you. Irene told me not to say nothing to you, but now you trying to be petty, so what you trying to do? Ashton started arguing with her. Y'all, Amanda then took that fist back and bow, hit her in the head. So at this point, y'all, I'm shocked. Y'all have to understand, I'm not friends with Amanda. And I know some people in the comments, because it always happens. Every time I tell a fight video, a fight story, people always tell me what they would have done and how I was bad because I didn't do this and I didn't do that. Y'all have to be in these story times to understand that a lot of the stuff that happened was too quick, too fast. I know this story feels elongated, but y'all, this shit happened so quickly. Like, literally in a matter of 20 seconds, this shit happened. So she literally cocked her fist back. She boom, boom. She cocked her fist back. She go boom, boom again. So at this point in time, me and Busted Back, because mind you, I'm in the front, Busted Back's in the passenger, Amanda's in the back. That's why I didn't even notice Amanda got out of the car until I seen her in the front of my car yelling at Ashton. Because in the middle of me screaming, like when I had my head out the window screaming at Ashton, I did not hear Amanda open the door to get out. So as soon as she hit Ashton, me and Busted Back both ran out of the car. And mind you, somebody was recording the whole interaction. Like somebody was literally recording from the beginning. That was on the side of the house. And at this time, I'm like, no, Amanda, like, no, chill. Like, so at this time, Ashton starts crying, y'all. Like, and I'm looking like, I was so shocked that Ashton was crying, because I was just like, this is somebody who talks all this mess to me on socials and she's crying. She didn't even fight back. And so Amanda talking shit. She was like, yeah, like on da-da-da. Like, you know, I remember I told you guys she was in the gang. So she was like, on da-da-da, cuz. Like, she didn't say cuz. But she was like, on da-da-da, like, on da-da-da, like, on da-da-da. I don't play that, like, for real. She was like, you arguing with any of my bitches, like, da-da-da, I don't play that, da-da-da. So I'm like, no, Amanda, like, come on, let's go to the car. And I know a lot of y'all about to be thinking, like, damn, like, was Irene pussy in and out? No, y'all. I just knew how the African community worked, and I knew that this shit was all gonna come falling back on me. I knew that what she did, mind you, Amanda was not African. Amanda was an African American, okay? So I knew that these people did not know Amanda like that. So once they heard Irene, they were not gonna care about who hit who. It was just the target was gonna be on me. So I knew from that moment when she hit Ashton, I knew it was over for me. Like, I just knew, I knew that it was just about to be a lot. I knew I was about to be in so much drama. I just knew, like, and that's what I was trying to avoid, you know, because the thing is, when me and Ashton made eye contact, she didn't say nothing to me. Like, she literally saw me from afar when I was still with Busted Back and Amanda outside, and she went back to talking to her guy friend. So I was just telling them, I told Amanda straight up, like, if she not pressing the issue, like, let it ride type shit. My original beef was with Pepper. Now, I did want to confront Ashton too, but I didn't want to be like on go for like every single body, because y'all have to understand, the people that Ashton had riding behind her was really, really big compared to the people that I had riding behind me. And I just did not want those type of problems. I'm not even going to sit up here and cat to y'all. Like, I was tired of fighting. I was tired of beefing with people at school. I was tired of putting up my fist every second to fight. Like, it was a lot, y'all. At this point in time, I'm basically telling Busted Back, I'm like, get your friend. Because Amanda is still trying to get to Ashton to hit her again. So Busted Back ends up getting in the middle of Amanda and pushing her away and pushing her towards my car. We're going to stop the story time right here, y'all, because y'all, the next chain of events, oh my goodness, everything went crazy afterwards. Okay, like everything went mad crazy, and yeah, it was a lot afterwards. But we're going to stop the story time right here. And also, like I told you guys, I'm going to tell a story time about Bozo and those other girls before I continue this story time, so you guys can understand, get a little bit of insight of these other girls, and then you guys can understand, you know, who these other girls were in this story time. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean, but you guys will understand when I drop the video. That's it for the story time. I love you guys so much. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. You know, we trying to do big numbers this year. We try to do big numbers this year. Also, guys, liking the video helps a lot, so please, 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 before you exit out, be sure to like the video and comment down below, and y'all let me know what y'all would have done. I know I always tell y'all, you know, this is not time for y'all to let me know what y'all, nah, I actually want y'all to let me know what y'all would have done in this story time. Let me know how y'all would have moved. Let me know if y'all would have been happy that your friend hit her. Y'all let me know, okay? Because yeah, but I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.